Welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Putnam County Legislature. Today is August 2nd, 2022. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and if Legislator Sage could lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next is the legislative prayer, and Legislator Adonisio is going to lead us.
We seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
District 1, Legislator Montgomery.
Here.
District 2, Legislator Goulman. District 3, Legislator Adonisio.
Present.
District 4, Legislator Nasarino.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Albano.
Present.
District 6, Legislator Yonke.
Present.
District 7, Legislator Castellano. District 8, Legislator Sage.
Present.
District 9, Chairman Sullivan.
Present. Item 4 is approval of the minutes from the regular meeting on May 3rd, 2022, and the regular meeting on July 5th, 2022. Next is item 5, correspondence from the county auditor. There's no correspondence from the county auditor today. And we'll move on to the pre-filed resolutions. And first up is the Personnel Committee. I'll turn over to Chairman Yonke.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of Legislators Adonisio, Nasarino, and myself, I'd like to move forward with item 6A. It's an approval of a budgetary amendment, the Youth Bureau New York State Highway Safety Program Grant Award. It's a personnel position. It is in the amount of $99,161 with zero fiscal impact.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6B is approval of a budgetary transfer for the district attorney. It's an assistant district attorney salary increase. It's in the amount of $1,260. It'll have a $1,260 fiscal impact on the 2022 budget and a $3,273 impact on the 2023 budget.
Any discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6C is the approval of a budgetary transfer, IT GIS Department. It's a reorganization creating the position of GIS IT Program Specialist. It's in the amount of $39,801. It's got a fiscal impact this year of $39,801. Next year, $95,364.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6D is an approval of a budgetary transfer, Bureau of Emergency Services Dispatch Center overtime. This was something that we had expected. It's in the amount of $118,415, and that is the fiscal impact for 2022.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6E is the approval of a budgetary transfer, IT GIS Department. It's to hire new temporary radio systems coordinator. It's in the amount of $31,003. Zero fiscal impact.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6F is an approval of a salary adjustment to the confidential secretary to the county executive. It is an increase from $50,000 to $60,000.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
I won't know.
Okay. We're moving on now to Rules, Enactments, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee, and I'll turn it over to Chairwoman Adonisio.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of legislators Nazareno and Sage, I would like to move forward 6G, which is a local law to amend section 4.01 of the Putnam County Charter entitled Department of Finance Commissioner. I'm going to read the following, which is the changes that we have added. We have added explicit experience. The Commissioner of Finance shall be deemed qualified for the position provided he or she has one of the following: licensure as a certified public accountant or certification by the Government Finance Officers Association, which is GFOA, as a certified public finance officer in New York State, and 2 years of governmental accounting experience. B, master's degree in accounting, public administration, or business administration, and 3 years of governmental accounting experience. Or bachelor's degree in accounting, public administration, or business administration, and 5 years of governmental accounting experience. Or an equivalent combination of training and experience is indicated in A, B, and C. As you can see, we have added explicit experience and years of experience, which wasn't in there initially.
Any discussion?
Please, Chair.
Yes,
Thank you.
Legislator Montgomery.
We went round and round in the committee, and I think our heads were spinning, at least mine was. By the end of it, we actually took away some credentials for this position, and what we ended up with at the end that wasn't clear at the end of the committee meeting was that this person can just hold a bachelor's degree in accounting or public administration with nothing else. So I don't think that is, I don't think that's sufficient. We could possibly hire someone with just a bachelor's degree in accounting. Yeah, it calls for, Commissioner of Finance shall be deemed qualified for the position provided that he has one of the following: a bachelor's degree in accounting.
And 5 years
And
experience.
5 years experience.
We added that, which we've never added before.
But
Agreed.
still, we took away the requirement for an upper level degree. We took away that requirement, and for that purpose, I am voting no. We took away a requirement for our chief financial officer to have a higher degree in education for the chief financial position of the county, managing $190 million.
Well, initially, there was no experience on any of this. If you look back, we never had any experience. And now we're adding 5 years governmental accounting experience, being specific in that with the bachelor's degree.
I understand that. We took away the higher education requirement for this position.
Well, this was also discussed, like you said, in the committee, and Commissioner of Finance agrees this is what he thinks is absolutely essential, and it was really requested by him, actually.
Well, my question was never answered. Do we have someone in mind for this position? Which is often the case when we change job descriptions in our county charter. It usually in the past has meant we had someone in mind that didn't have the credentials, and we ended up with people with lesser degrees of education, as in the planning department, and now, apparently in the soil and water district, and I'm not sure what else. But so, as someone said to me, we keep dumbing down. That's the comment that was made to me yesterday by someone from the public. So, again, I'm not supporting this. I'm voting no, and that's the reason. We're taking away a requirement for a higher degree for the chief financial officer for the county.
Right. And I would like to comment because you're correct in some of what you said, because as you probably saw in the rules meeting, that the recommendations from the Charter Commission were actually had stronger and tougher, I'll call them, professional requirements to be the commissioner. And during that rules meeting, those were taken out of the commission's recommendation. So the commission actually thought and agreed with you, Legislator Montgomery, that the requirements for that position should be tougher and should require somebody with more education and experience. And unfortunately, during the rules meeting, I guess I wasn't there, but other people didn't agree with that, so it's changed.
If I may.
Yes.
And that commission is made up of yourself and legislator Adamizio and legislative attorney.
Yes, and the county attorney, Baumgartner, or
So it's basically,
special attorney.
made up, the majority made up of people who are going to vote on this tonight. So I hope that we see the benefit of having a higher degree of education for such an important position, managing, who knows what will come with. What was it last year? What was our budget? Close to 190 million.
Yeah, but I hear your comments.
Thank you.
You heard my comments.
Yes, thank you.
Legislator Nasarino.
At the rules meeting, Commissioner of Finance, Bill Cullen, made it very clear and very specific that governmental accounting experience is very unique to accounting, and that someone with 5 years' experience, or who, perhaps a deputy or someone within the department who had shadowed this position for 5 years, certainly has the ability to step into this position should it be deemed by the county executive, because again, it's the county executive's appointment. And speaking to, we're doing this because we have someone in mind, I would certainly fundamentally disagree with that mindset, because we have a new administration coming on in January, and will be up to the new county executive to designate that candidate to fill this position, and based on what is cited here, at his discretion, see who the best candidate is.
Legislator Sage.
I was going to make that same point. The next county executive will have the ability to appoint whomever they see qualified for the position. But also, when we were going over this during the Rules Committee, and we looked at the changes, the final qualification that was crossed off was or a master business administration degree. So instead of having a master of business administration, which I could get an MBA in accounting, I could get an MBA in marketing, I could get an MBA in public relations, in advertising, and that would all qualify in the previous draft. So what we did is to have a master's degree in accounting and 3 years of governmental experience, or you could have a bachelor's degree in accounting, public administration, business administration, and 5 years of governmental accounting experience, which to me adds more weight than a master's degree in public relations to be the commissioner of finance. So we've actually made it more stringent, more specific, and I'm comfortable with this because this was signed off by our commissioner who's been with the county for 30 years and done a fabulous job for the county and the taxpayers of Putnam. So I'm going to be voting yes.
Anybody else? Being that there's no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Legislator Adamizio.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano. Legislator Goldman. Legislator Yonke.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on now, sorry.
Okay. Moving on to 6H is the approval of local law to amend section 403 of the Putnam County Charter entitled the Division of Real Property Tax Services Director. We have added, and I will read, oh, we need this one, yeah, we put in here. There shall be within the Department of Finance independent division of real property tax services, which shall be headed by a director of real property tax services, who shall be appointed by the county executive, subject to confirmation by the legislature. And the following has been added. Notwithstanding any other provision of this charter, in the event the legislature does not confirm the appointment, the county executive shall appoint another individual within 6 months, who shall also be subject to confirmation by the legislature.
Any discussion? Being that there's no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Legislator Adnezio.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano. Legislator Goldman. Legislator Yonke.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on to 6I is the approval of local law to amend section 501 of the Putnam County Charter entitled Department of Purchasing. This is only 3 typographical changes that were made. It was an apostrophe and putting on an S on the word remain. So that's just typos, 2 typos.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we'll move on to the Health, Social, Educational, Environmental Committee and Chairwoman Sage.
Thank you, Chairman. On behalf of legislators Adonisio and Yonke, I would like to bring forward item 6J for the approval of budgetary amendment 22A-053 from the Health Department to purchase licensing software. Our software is sorely in need of update, and having a new system would greatly help the Health Department. The amount is $45,000. Bring us into the 21st century, finally. So, thank you.
Any discussion?
Just want to add that 2022 fiscal impact is 0.
Any other discussion? Legislator
I'm happy to
Nasarino.
support this. This is a long time coming, and this is really will improve efficiencies and centralize all client records. So it's a very important program, and it's been years in the making. It was denied at one point, and I'm happy that we are moving forward because it is paramount that we have this program.
Thank you. Anyone else? Roll call vote, please.
Legislator Adnezio.
Yes.
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano. Legislator Goldman. Legislator Yonke.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to the Protective Services Committee and Chairwoman Nasarino.
Thank you. On behalf of myself and Legislator Sage and Sullivan, I would like to move forward with agenda item 6K, approval budgetary amendment 22A-055, Finance Department, Sheriff's Department, Marine Patrol, State Aid and Navigation Plan. It was New York State notified the municipalities that effective January 1st, 2022, both municipalities shall submit separate governmental entities for reimbursement under the annual Marine Patrol State Aid Navigation Grant. So this is merely a housekeeping detail. In the past, the money came into Putnam County, it was passed through to the town of Carmel, and as deemed by New York State, this will be sent separate entities moving forward.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agenda item 6L is approval of fund transfer 22T, emergency services, audio visual equipment. This is in the amount of $10,700 to provide free audio feeds for new consoles and upgrade the 911 center video wall. So we're continuing with the upgrade of the consolidation plan, and the new consoles will help the dispatchers to do their jobs.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
In the same vein, this is Item 6M, is an approval fund transfer 22T, Emergency Services Audio Visual Equipment. This is in the amount of $36,314. This is for additional screens for the video wall to add to the current video wall, and will support monitoring video data, which is very important, which includes the Sheriff's Department and the new CAD system that we will be employing shortly, and this will certainly improve efficiencies.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Item 6N is approval budgetary transfer 22T, 1/4 grade, Sheriff's Department narcotics. This is a request for $24,000 to purchase a vehicle for BCI in the amount of $24,000. They're asking that this money be released to sub-contingency. This was budgeted by the former administration, and they are now prepared to move forward with that.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Just have a comment.
Yes.
I'm happy to support this with the hope that they will take a look at the opportunity to purchase electric vehicles. I think it was the city of Peekskill just this week. Police department just purchased 3 new ones, 3 electric vehicles. So I don't think we're limited here much with our opportunities to purchase electric vehicles for our fleet. We don't have any.
Okay, thanks. Legislator Nasarino.
Well, after the meeting, Fred kind of was like a physical meeting, he did speak about electric vehicles, and we're all hoping to move in that direction, but if you were there, he did say that we just do not have the infrastructure to do it at this point in time. And it would really have a detrimental effect on all the consumers using electricity if we did now. So we are moving in that direction, we are thinking and preparing, but at this point in time, the infrastructure does not support electric vehicles.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe we approved applying for a grant, looking for charging stations. So it's in the works, we're looking at it,
Yes.
and it's a common sense thing to go towards. It's not ready yet, but we're moving in that direction.
But I mean,
Yes, Legislator Montgomery.
there's plenty of support to build the infrastructure that's been available for years. I mean, we've already started in Phillipstown. We have our charging stations, and the state has been at it for many years, as you know, with the Climate Smart Communities Initiative and NYSERDA, and the opportunities that are available to build the infrastructure are there. I don't think we've taken a look or taken advantage of any of them.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we all are in support of looking at ways to make our fleet more efficient. So whether it's electric or hybrid or whatever other technology might be out there, I think we're all in support of that. And once our infrastructure and the people that run that say we can do it, I think we'll all be in favor of supporting that. So we look forward to that and moving in that direction eventually. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
Well, just moving forward with this consideration tonight, we're just not there yet, and they need the vehicle.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Next, thank you. Next is Physical Services Committee and Chairman Alano.
Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. On behalf of legislators Castellano and Putnam, I'd like to move 6O, which is approval of budgetary amendment 22A-054, Financial Department regarding gasoline utilities contingency. It's $1,121,500, $116,500 for road machinery fund. These are shortfalls and things that need to be addressed, and we're just moving the money around from the appropriate lines.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6P is an approval to adopt Putnam County's proposed disadvantaged business enterprise, known as the DBE, program plan, and this is in conformance with and as required by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the U.S. DOT. And basically, the plan's objective is to include without limitation, ensuring no person shall be excluded from participating in, deny any person or national origin in connection with the award and performance of any contract covered by the U.S. DOT. So this is pretty standard for us to get federal funding monies regarding transportation.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6Q is approval of Putnam County's proposed disadvantaged business plan. This is the goal methodology for the period of 2023, 24, 25, in conformance with, as required by the U.S. Department of Transportation. Basically, it outlines the goals and objectives, and they'll review it. If they have any comments, I'm sure to let us know.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6R. 6R, approval of Putnam County's proposed program plan amendment of civil rights officer in conformance with and required by the U.S. Department of Transportation, entitled 6 Regulations. Okay, this is regarding civil rights, make sure we comply, and just reading something now. It's all regarding FTA to approve this title program, and again, it addresses civil rights issues.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is Audit and Administration Committee, and since Chairman Castellano's not feeling well tonight, I'll just jump in for him on these 2 items. So now is item 6S, and it's the approval for the renewal of a crime assistance program grant, Child Advocacy Center. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6T is the approval for property acquisitions related to the Empire State Trail access. Any discussion?
Just adding some more parking for people to use the bike trail, which is fantastic. They're really enjoying it, so it's a good idea.
Legislator Nasarino?
This is in the town of Patterson, and this will certainly will improve efficiencies and safety as more and more people utilize the trail in Patterson. So I'm very happy to see this moving forward. We do need the parking.
Thank you.
Yeah, these are, yeah, right now there's a parking area that's really unsafe.
It is.
And this work will certainly make it a lot safer and easier to access.
Thanks. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 7 is other business. Does anybody have any other business they'd like to bring up tonight? Being that there's no other business, I'll move on to item 8, which is recognition of the public on any agenda items we spoke about tonight. Anybody like to speak about any of the agenda items? Okay, thank you. And item 9 is recognition of legislators. So would any legislator like to be recognized? Legislator Albano.
I just want to say I had the opportunity to stop by at Tilly Forster this weekend. They had an event on Sunday. A lot of people attended, great event, good weather. It was nice to be there. Just looked like I had a lot of smiling faces enjoying the farm.
Thank you. Anyone else? Legislator Nasarino.
Ditto, I was there too. It was a great event, beautiful, beautiful day, and it was enjoyed by many people that were there. So it was a great turnout.
It was. Anyone else? Any comments? Legislator Montgomery.
Thank you. Just wanted to say congratulations to the 2022 graduates of the Cold Spring Junior Fire Academy. This was their 20th year, and this is an amazing, I think you're probably all aware of this program. It's a program where the chiefs of the fire departments, the counselors, everybody that's involved in the fire department pretty much takes a week off of work to train all these great kids in fire service, and many of them move on to become firefighters. In fact, there were some counselors this year that were there 20 years ago. My son was one of them. My 3 sons actually attended, but they had their 20th year celebration, and I just wanted to say thanks to Chief Phillips and especially to Dan Valentine and Matt Stelz for their many, many years of dedication to that program. And I guess we took the Clean Water resolution opposing the Clean Water Act to protect Class C streams off the agenda. It was a proposal we received late Friday, so I'm really glad that it didn't see the light of day here, you know, in honor of August is National Water Quality Month. So in honor of Senator Edmund Muskie, who first proposed the Clean Water Act way back in the 70s, I'm really grateful that we were not opposing what will be protections for our Class C streams. And just to name a few that are in our area that are vulnerable is, you know, the Upper Hudson River, the Lower Hudson River, my playground, the Delaware River, the Housatonic River, and I have a whole list of Class C streams that are unprotected and very vulnerable. So this act, I'm looking forward to having this signed into law. And I'd like to thank Senator Pete Harcum for his work on this. And I have letters here from every organization, from the Sierra Club to the Nature Conservancy to the Audubon to ABC of stream protection supporters and citizens campaigns for the environment, Riverkeeper, and as you know, because you got all the letters today from our constituents who are very concerned. There's a problem in New York State that some of the streams are not classified properly. It would be really hard to go back and classify them, and I think getting these protections on is the easier way. I talked to folks at the DEC today, and they can't form an opinion on this or share an opinion on this, but they have added more staff, because the concern is how will they enforce this? There's no way. They have added more staff. I haven't heard anything. What the resolution said, 4 to 8 months in getting permits approved. That just, nobody could tell me that there was any validity to that. So there's more money in the state budget for next year to add even more staff to the DEC. So I just, you know, water is the new oil. We must do everything we can to protect it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Legislator Sage?
Yeah. I know everyone is concerned about the economy. The state of the U.S. economy has been the forefront of everyone's mind these past few years, considering the fallout of COVID, rising gas prices, the indication of a possible recession, shrinking economy, raising inflation, and concerns of hiring and workforce shortages. This is of great concern to county finances as well, especially as we begin our budget season. We have a lot to consider in the legislature. We have to keep within our 2% tax cap, while at the same time, we're faced with rising inflation, rising fuel and utilities costs, as we've seen tonight as we pass a resolution moving some money around to support our rising fuel costs. This past month, at the Audit Committee, we heard from our outside auditors at PKF O'Connor Davies to report on the annual comprehensive financial report of Putnam County. This gives us an outside look at our finances and fiscal health. And once again, the outside auditors praised the county on its financial position and accounting practices. Putnam County at the end of 2021 had a fund balance of $90.6 million. And this is a healthy financial position to face in order to face financial uncertainty in the coming year. This is because of the conservative fiscal accounting by our finance commissioner, our auditor, and sound financial decisions supported by the legislature and the administration. Our auditors gave Putnam County the unmodified opinion, which means we have a clean bill of health here. The auditors also noted that Putnam County received a certificate of achievement in financial reporting for the last 30 of 31 years. And it's no coincidence that our financial commissioner, Bill Carlin, has been here in the county those 30 years. They also noted that our Moody's bond rating was raised September 2019 from a AA2 to AA1, which means that our obligations are judged to be of high quality and subject to very low credit risk, which translates to lower interest rates. Interest rates are rising. The county is going to take advantage, if we so choose, will take advantage of lower interest rates because of our bond rating. They noted that Putnam County's reduced the need to borrow from $17 million in 2013 to $0 in 2015, saving an annual interest expense by as much as $157,000 a year. Another important fact, as we know, interest rates are rising. Although we don't know what the economy is going to bring, tomorrow, because of our excellent past practices and conservative budgeting, we are facing the future here in Putnam County on strong financial standing.
Thank you. Legislator Yonke.
Yes, just quickly. I had an opportunity to visit the facility over at Putnam Golf Course, and everybody should go take a look and see what great work our own employees did to that facility. There was some remediation. I thought, and I still believe, that most of what we were told would be asbestos remediation. However, the improvement there is spectacular. It was done, and we need to give credit to our employees. We have some great employees who do some great work, and I don't want them overlooked.
Thank you. Legislator O'Donnell.
Yeah, being on physical services, I just have to add to that. Every time we have another issue going on, they get in there, and it's like the most professional team of craftsmen that do the job right, starting from Tilly. And again, a lot of these buildings, they could fool you. They look solid, they look in good shape, but then when you start opening things up, you realize you have a lot of potential issues. And each time we go in, we kind of address them complete. No Band-Aid, no patch. Do the right job, and it makes them safe and operate properly for many years to come. So I'm glad we did a lot of that, and they are fantastic what they do.
Thank you. Anyone else? Being that there's no one else, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.